Internet. I'm Insane Lane, as well as a Canadian girl. And today we have Jacksonville officers punch man after he refuses to exit car. You've probably seen this making the rounds. It's gone viral. Came out about a week and a half ago. Sorry for taking so long to cover it. Had a lot going on last week. Couldn't get to the videos, but this has been on my list. And we do have follow-up. It's a short vid, but we've got follow-up afterwards. So let's see what we think of this. I have seen the entire video once, but it was a week ago. So not exactly blind, but I definitely don't remember like every word because, again, only saw it once. Just wanted to keep it for the act.
Yeah, Florida 24 Bravo Echo Charlie Whiskey on a silver Kia. I don't like this.
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason why you're popping the door open like that?
I don't have a window that works. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. I don't need the lights. And it's not weather. It's not raining.
Oh, this is inclement?
It's not raining.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No, call your supervisor. Why?
Excuse me?
Call your supervisor. Why did you pull me over?
37, 35. I'm proper dog driver. I've already told you.
Why did you pull me over?
Step out of the vehicle.
No.
Step out of the vehicle.
Okay, we've got a few things. Now, there is rain on the car, so I'm going to say that, yes, it is kind of lightly sprinkling, but would you need your lights on here for this? Probably not. Though, I will say, here in Canada, a lot of cars, the majority of cars, the headlights will turn on automatically, either when it starts getting dark or in the case of weather like this. So, for my 2 cents, I wouldn't know when to turn them on manually because I'm just used to them coming on. Not that I drive, but being in cars. So it's barely sprinkling. I guess pulling someone over for not having their headlights on in the rain is legal. I mean, it's valid. It seems like a very weak reason to me. It seems like kind of a, I want to wreck somebody's day kind of reason. Because again, this is not a thunderstorm. It hasn't suddenly gotten dark. It's still very light out, so I don't see that headlights actually would make any difference. But it's a lawful reason to stop somebody. Is the guy being uncooperative? Yes. Yes, he is. He's been asked for his ID, license, reg, insurance. He said no because he objects to why he's being stopped, which I don't blame him at all for because it's an incredibly weak and very lame reason. But that doesn't mean you get to say no. You still have to hand over your info, and then if you want to call and make a complaint saying this cop is a loser for pulling me over for this reason, it was utterly ridiculous, you can do that later. He was asked to get out of the car and said no and shut the door. A lot of police departments are going to take that as being very aggressive. I don't think it's aggressive. I think he's just a guy who's annoyed and absolutely knows, and I agree with him, that he's just being harassed because the cop felt like harassing somebody and picked him. But there are better ways to handle this. Sometimes you got to put up with other people abusing their authority and being absolutely bullshit and being bad at their jobs. And you just got to, deal with it. Sometimes the only way out is through. And, but I understand fully why the driver is handling this the way that he is. I can't say I disagree with him. I'm only saying the law disagrees with him.
25 seconds. For 9-4, the driver just slammed the door and locked it. Yep. 25 seconds. If anybody responding, come in from Commonwealth, block the vehicle, please. Keep your hands where I can see them, sir. My camera's on too. I've already told you. Okay.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Right now you're under arrest for resisting.
Okay, so we're like 90 seconds in and already the officer's saying this guy is under arrest. He doesn't appear to be trying to take him into custody, probably because he's alone, which is smart. I don't like when cops get into, a physical struggle, which it looks like this might be because he's got to open the door and get the guy out of the car. Don't like doing that one-on-one because you don't know you're going to win that fight, and that's when things can get real dangerous real fast. So waiting for backup, good option. The guy in the car, you can see he's got his hands up. He's recording now. And so I think that's why he wants the officer to say again why he was pulled over. But this is escalating way too fast.
You understand? You're under arrest for resisting. The longer you take us on, the worse it's going to be.
That's not a good statement. Whoa, hold on. Let's swing back 2 seconds.
Take us on, the worse it's going to be.
Okay, I'm going to point something out. That is the cop car. He does not have his lights on. And the car is on because his roof lights are on. So this officer is also driving without his headlights during, extremely light rain. I don't actually actively see rain hitting the car. So it looks like they got, a 5-second summer shower, which we get those here. Literally, it'll be a clear, bright, sunny day. All of a sudden, in about 10 seconds, it gets super dark. There's a really loud cracking sound. A bucket's worth of water falls down. And as it's hitting the ground, the skies are parting and it's back to blue skies. We get that in the summer. Like today. But I don't actively see it raining right now. So again, the whole reason for pulling him over in the first place seems so sus and incredibly weak. And then the cop doesn't even have his own headlights on. But what he just said, the longer you draw this out, the worse it's going to be. That's the kind of line you don't want replayed in court, officer. This is why I harp on this, that cops need to be professional. Because these things wind up in court at some point, and you don't want a lawyer putting this cop on the stand saying, what did you mean by that? And that's going to get more relevant in a minute, as we know.
Keep your hands where I can see them, sir. Okay.
Okay, so now we have another car pulling up with no headlights.
Sorry,
I'm just going to point that out. The car that just blocked him in, which they're so escalating this, but the car that just pulled up, also no headlights. So now they've got this guy's car blocked in. Nowhere to go. Not that he tried to drive away or leave or anything. He didn't.
Last warning to open the vehicle and exit before we're going to break the window. Open the door and exit or we are going to break the window. Open the door and exit or we are going to break the window.
Well, we're conducting a traffic stop right now. You need it.
No, he's under arrest.
Hey, I'll lock the car. I'm going to push it up.
Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting.
Can you unlock the door and step out? I will. Can you step out? You're being done. If there's a traffic stop being conducted, you're required to comply. Yes.
You walked it up. Put the window down.
Correct.
I tried to talk to
Hi. Okay. So what did he ask for when he I guess,
when he pulled me over, he walked up, opened my door, my window over, right? And then I said, so what I did wrong?
Yeah.
He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like, there's multiple people headlights.
Okay, that's so.
And then there's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Can you pull that long?
Whoa! Let's hear that again.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Okay, because the driver just said there's no rain, meaning it wasn't raining when he pulled me over. And the officer just said it doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on. Why? the reason he got told he was stopped was because he didn't have his lights on and it was raining, which is considered inclement weather, so you have to have your lights on. Even though, as I've said, I don't actually see it raining right now. This is certainly not inclement weather, and I think your headlights would probably be more of a detriment than a help in this lighting level. But this cop just said it doesn't matter. He said it wasn't raining. It doesn't matter. I think it does. Because I think that's the whole reason you said you pulled him over. Like, that was just an incredibly stupid thing to say. And, like, what are you talking about? I'm going to go back a little further just to make sure we have the whole, like, conversation. Because this is critical. This is the entire reason for this stop. And everything that comes after it, it all comes from the initial point of why did you pull me over?
Like, there's multiple people headlights.
Okay, that's still
and then there's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
No, he's not.
Huh?
No, he's not. If there is no rain, he is not required to have his headlights on. Thus, you had no lawful reason to pull him over. Like, seriously, where do they find these cops? Like, do you not train them at all in how to not sound like a blithering idiot when you're trying to justify pulling someone over? Because one thing you don't say is, it doesn't matter when you're talking about the entire reason that you are standing there talking to this person now. And this whole situation happened. The whole reason for all of this and everything that follows. You don't say, it doesn't matter. And I'm getting loud, so emotional support doggy's going, you need me. And of course he muted me because that's what he does. He's really good at it. He's going, you need me, mommy. I'm a good dog. And I'm helping. And I'm sleepy. Yeah, he's going to put his head on my shoulder and go to sleep. But let's get through this. It's always the short ones that there's so much to say, and this is just the beginning. Aren't you a good boy?
Can you put that law?
Yeah, when you step out of the car, I will.
Hey.
Can you call your supervisor?
Huh?
Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
There's so many.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle.
Okay, that right there. What the
Show
fuck?
me your hands.
Here.
What is your reason, sir? What is your reason?
Step out now. All right.
No.
It's whoa. Okay, whoa. Look at this.
Hands behind your back.
That was bullshit. All right, we're going to back up and take this again because we're going to break this down.
You're still required to have headlights on.
Can you put that law up?
Huh?
Can you put that law
Yeah,
up?
when you step out of the car, I will.
Hey.
Can you call your supervisor?
Huh?
Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle.
Okay, several problems. One, I've never seen anybody just punch a window. I think he had like something in his hand that broke the window. Yes, I'm paying attention to you. It's okay. It's okay. But they smashed in the window. The driver is remarkably calm about this. I certainly would not be. There's glass flying everywhere, but then somebody's hand comes in and just punches this guy right in the face. What the hell is that? And you're screaming at somebody to get out of the car as you're punching them in the face. That's not going to make me want to get out. I will also point out that the second reason he was told that he was pulled over was not wearing a seatbelt, and he's clearly wearing a seatbelt now. Whether, like, he's had time to put it on out of sight. So whether he was initially or not, I don't know, but he's certainly wearing one now. Because we can see the officer has to reach in and take it off, but as they then drag him out of the car, they clearly are throwing shots at his face. Multiple officers, I can see it, are hitting him in the face. They threw him on the ground and then continued to pummel him while saying, stop fighting, stop resisting, when I don't see him moving at all. So he's not fighting with them. He's not resisting. They're just saying it because that is what bad cops do. They know to say those things on camera because that is how they get out of being prosecuted for what they are doing. That is how they beat the shit out of somebody with immunity, because they can say, well, he was resisting, he was fighting, I had to use pain compliance or appropriate force to subdue them. One, we need to ditch pain compliance. It should never be a thing. It is torture and nothing else. So we need to not be doing that to people and stop teaching it and stop pretending it's okay. But this is a bunch of cops who don't like being told no, who don't like the fact that their authority is being challenged and that they're getting called out for a bullshit stop for a bullshit reason, and they're just harassing someone. And because he did not go along with their BS and respect their authority, they decided they had the right to beat the shit out of this guy for no other reason than disrespecting them. And that is what we see here.
Show me your hands.
Here.
1033 at 16.1 hours.
I'm here. What is your reason, sir? What is your reason? Step out now. All right. Get on the ground. No, don't touch me. Get on the ground. Put your hands on that.
Yeah, stop fighting as they're all pummeling him and he's not moving.
What's wrong with you? What do you mean? I was putting my hands behind my back. I was doing
What?
What's going on, man?
And what is ain't no talking now, man? Like, who in the hell do you think you are? Like, this is the attitude we don't need cops to have. The I am the law. You will do what I say no matter what. That is the attitude we're getting here, and that's the attitude that's toxic, and it needs to go. Also, look at what they did to this guy's car. Because, like, they blocked this in a little too hard, because I think they did some of that damage. And again, the cops are the ones who have escalated this to a crazy-ass level that didn't need to get at it. I'm not saying the driver isn't partially responsible. There he is. But the cops needed to freaking chill, and instead they're like, yeah, bring the cavalry. We've got like 6 cars here over a flippin' traffic stop for no headlights because we don't know how to handle anything at a reasonable level.
You're under arrest. That's what's going on.
No.
Yes, bro. Yes.
That's a lawful reason, bro. You look from the phone like that, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it off of you, bro.
And I'm just trying to have a regular conversation with y'all, bro.
That's not how it works.
When they asked you to step out of the vehicle, you should have done that. So your partner didn't even act.
Marijuana in his right pocket.
Yes, it is. So why close the door if you see him pull up? Because, man, what you mean? He talking about arresting me and stuff, but I didn't do nothing.
No resisting, idiot.
I didn't do nothing wrong. Can you back me up to the cops after me? You broke my foot, bro.
Okay. Okay, the officer is body camera watching. He keeps looking at his hands. He's got little cuts on his hands. Gee, how did you get those? Was it from punching this guy in the face? Well, there's broken glass everywhere.
25, so you start rescue. Kid 67, approximately 30-year-old Bravo Mike, last race. I did.
25, 70.
Thank you.
I know. It's supposed to go on.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What you know? You need tissue?
You good? Is that you or him? Oh, okay.
Okay, that is where the video ends. It's very short. However, there is follow-up. I looked this up right before we began filming. However, this only went viral about a week and a half ago, so there really hasn't been a lot of time. But what I do remember, and I saw this myself, was the day after this video was posted. It was mid-July, and the day after it was posted, the Jacksonville Police Department held a press conference that I watched the beginning of, and the thing that stood out to me was the officer standing there making the speech to the press. The first thing that he said was that even though they had only become aware of this video the day before, they claim, of course, they knew nothing about this incident, even though it happened about 4 or 5 months prior to the video being posted online and going viral. They claim they were unaware of it, and also that they had already investigated all of the officers there and had found that none of them had any criminal wrongdoing. And that was when I pretty much stopped listening, because that is nothing but a cover-up. You had only known about it for like 12 hours, and yet you're claiming you had done a full, impartial investigation into the actions of every single one of the 6 or 7 officers that were involved in that incident, and you've already been able to determine that none of them did anything criminal? Yeah, bull fucking shit you did. As for the driver, he was treated at hospital for concussion. He has brain injuries. He had a broken tooth and required 9 stitches to his lip. He did not get that from the window brake. They beat the shit out of this guy because they felt disrespected, because he said no to them. That is the entire reason that they did this. It had nothing to do with justice, certainly. And it had nothing to do with law enforcement either. First cop pulled someone over because he felt like harassing someone. That's my honest opinion. Because the reason is so pathetic. So I think he just saw a person, hopefully it wasn't racial, but it probably was, and decided he could harass this guy, and he didn't get away with it. And when he didn't get the result that he wanted, when he didn't get the deference that he wanted, and he didn't get to just abuse someone for kicks that day, he called in backup, who fell right in line with his bullshit, and proceeded to do what we saw. There's no excuse for it. Now, I have seen some reports that say a couple of the officers have been suspended, but I was unable to confirm that. I do think there's going to be more action taken on this. As of yet, no lawsuits have been filed, which is very surprising. But that could just be a case of you need time to get your ducks in a row on things like that and be ready before you launch those kind of things, because you really only get one shot. So I have no doubt there will be more of this, but every cop there is getting a fail for going along with it, for beating up an innocent person. The entire department is getting a fail for covering for those officers and lying about it publicly. And, I will say, if any of the charges this guy was charged with, I don't even know what his official charges were, because they were mostly dropped from what I heard, or all dropped. I couldn't find a clear answer on that. There were conflicting answers as to whether any of the charges stuck or they were all dismissed. It wouldn't surprise me if they were all dismissed, because they're bullshit. We didn't even get to hear what he was charged with. I'm guessing resisting and possibly assault on an officer or failing to ID, something like that. But regardless of what the charges were, that's really irrelevant at this point. The actions of the officers are inexcusable. And the fact that the police department is trying so hard to cover it up and protect them from any kind of liability, criminal or civil, is disgusting. And that's what needs to stop. Because the only way cops are going to stop doing this and stop beating up innocent people is if they are held accountable, and if they know that they personally will be held accountable. That the department's not going to protect them, the DA is not going to protect them, and the public's not going to protect them. Like this culture of, because they're a cop and they wear a badge, they can do whatever they want because it's a really tough job and they put their lives on the line. I'm not disrespecting them or saying that it isn't a difficult job or even a life-risking job. It is. That doesn't give you the right to act like this. So those are my thoughts. What are yours? If you are new here, please like, comment, and subscribe. Do you think anything will happen to these officers? What do you think of the driver's actions? How would you have handled being pulled over for that reason? And until next time, I've been Insane Lane as well as a Canadian girl. This has been Bo. Love on yourself and love a fur baby. Bye-bye.